Before we begin, a stark warning. What we will show you today is simply horrifying. It's a story of savage mass murder, rape and gruesome torture.
A few months ago, this special broadcast broke what should have been one of the biggest stories in the history of Indian journalism.
लेकिन क्या हुआ ना कि जो 20-25 साल से हमारी नजरों में जो लोग थे वो चुन-चुन के मारा ही
Grainy footage of mass murderers not just confessing but boasting of their crimes. The story didn't just expose the killers, but also the men who'd organised and covered up the crimes. But several months later, the journalists behind the expose and the victims of the crimes they were investigating are disillusioned.
There was some public outrage, there was some public anger, but I would say yes, nothing has happened.
इस तरह से वो लोग ने तो खुद अपना कबूल ही कर लिया, तो लेकिन अभी तक उनको कुछ क्यों नहीं हुआ? वहाँ की सरकार ने उनके लिए कुछ भी नहीं किया है.
This is a test case, in Indian democracy. I mean, if we cannot deliver justice on the killings of 2,000 people, we are in trouble.
To unravel this complex, sordid story, I've come to the Indian state of Gujarat. Today's the festival of Uttarayan, which marks the end of the winter solstice. And this is how hundreds of thousands of people celebrate in Gujarat's largest city, Ahmedabad. The kite strings are coated with powdered glass, and the aim is to cut down other people's kites.
Did you cut someone down?
हाँ, मैंने बहुत सारे पतंग कापे और इसी डोरी से, और ये डोरी बहुत ही बढ़िया है मेरे लिए.
This is all good fun, but 6 years ago, the Hindus of Gujarat were literally cutting down their Muslim neighbours. In February 2002, here in the suburb of Narodapatia, a mob armed with lethal weapons went on a 10-hour killing spree. For Fatima Muhammad Yusuf and her family, life would never be the same.
हम तो कुछ नहीं, हमने दरजा बंद करके ढाबे पर चले गए सब बच्चों को लेके. ढाबे पर देख रही है तो इतने लोग बेहिसाब लोग थे, तो हमको इतनी समझ नहीं पड़ी कि हमारे कुछ पैसा ना कुछ दागिने ना कुछ हम लेकर निकले. हमको ऐसा कभी देखे ही नहीं थे.
A Hindu neighbour sheltered the family for much of the day, but then asked them to leave. The police were outside and Fatima begged them for help.
तो वो क्या बोल रहे थे कि हमको तुमको बचाने का ऑर्डर नहीं है, हमको ऊपर से ऑर्डर आया कि तुमको साफ करने का. बोले खुले शब्द में बोल रहे थे. तो बोलते बहन चोदो, देखो ये गोधरा के अंदर ये पेपर बता रहे थे हमको, देखो गोधरा में ये हाल हुआ, इसके लिए हम तुमको ये हाल कर रहे हैं.
This is what had happened in the town of Godhra the morning before. A train full of Hindu pilgrims was attacked by a Muslim mob after an argument at the train station. 59 people died when a fire broke out in an overcrowded carriage. The cause of the fire was unclear, but by nightfall, Hindus had begun to retaliate.
अब उसके अंदर से उन्होंने इतना बेदिकर से मारा है, तलवार से मार के उन लोगों को गिरा दिया. मेरी बहन को मेरे से बदन में झाड़ी थी, तलवार मारा तो उठ नहीं सकी वो. मेरी बहन के पास पैसे थे, थोड़े घने मेहनत करती थी कि भाई पैसे ले लो ताकि मेरे बच्चों को मत मारो, वो जाने दो। तो पैसे लेके फेंक कर उसको मारा, तलवार से मार के, जवान बच्चे को तलवार से मार के टुकड़े कर डाला।
Many of the bodies were burned and then dumped in this well. Along with her sister, Fatima lost 19 members of her family. No one has ever been convicted of the killings. According to the Gujarati government, 105 people were killed around Narodapatya. But the killers themselves say the real figure was at least twice that.
बच्चों को औरतों को कायदे से कटा है, किसी को नहीं छोड़ा, पनपने नहीं चाहिए। मैं तो आज भी बोलता हूँ कि कुछ भी हो, लेडीज हो, बच्चे हो, कुछ भी हो, काटने से हो कुछ, मारो, काटो, जलाना, छोड़ो। अपने हिंदू बदमाश।
This is Babu Bajrangi, the man who led the mob. His remarkable confession was secretly recorded by an undercover reporter from Tehelka, a weekly news magazine.
Each and everything he said, each and everything he did while I was with him, it was always targeted against Muslims, against anything which he believed was anti-Hindu. And I mean, his love for Hinduism flowed out of his hatred for Muslims, for Christians. It was unbelievable. This is the recorder, and this is the memory chip on which the recording is saved. And the diary has a minute hole, this one. This is the lens of this diary. I mean, it's very difficult to figure it out with the naked eye.
Ashish Khetan risked his life to find out who was behind the 2002 riots and doesn't want to blow his cover now.
The other spy cam I was using in Gujarat was a button spy cam.
Armed with 2 hidden cameras, he spent 6 months last year posing as a young Hindu fundamentalist by the name of Piyush Agarwal. He infiltrated a network of fanatical Hindu organisations, winning the confidence of their leaders as well as their foot soldiers.
So there was a sense of pride and a sense of achievement in what they did in 2002, and they wanted to tell about that. This was something which they always talked about in their own inner circles, and once I was part of that circle, they opened up to me as well.
The violence raged for 3 days until the army was called in. The government claimed the massacres were a spontaneous response to the killing of the 59 Hindus on the train at Godhra. But Hindu leaders told Ashish Khetan their revenge was carefully mapped out at special meetings.
हॉस्पिटल जो सार्वजनिक एसएसडी हॉस्पिटल दवाखाना है, कोई इंजर्ड जाए, नो जाए, हाउ वी हैव टू हेल्प, वो पूरा प्लान बना के एक जिहादी चलाए, समझो हिंदू की जिहाद और हिंदुइज्म, और उसमें हम गुजरात में सक्सेस। मुसलमानों ने हमारे साथ वनडे के लिए, वनडे से आप परिचित है, उसने हमको 60 रन का टारगेट दिया है। ये मैच हमको कैसे भी करके जीतनी है, तो 600 रन करो, वहां तक रुकना मत, ऐसा करके मैंने बोला था।
Across the state, Muslim neighbourhoods were looted and burned. In the end, the final death toll may have passed 2,000.
These are the charred remains of Gulbagh, a housing society that was home to a former Member of Parliament, Zakia Jaffri. For over 5 hours, Jaffri and his wife were besieged here, along with many other families who'd sought refuge from neighbouring slums. But despite a constant stream of frantic phone calls to the police, political allies in the Congress Party, and even the office of the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Jaffri was abandoned to a shocking and gruesome fate.
क्या बता रही है अम्मा को?
बस गले लगा रही थी.
Ehsan Jaffri's widow, Zakia, says that when some of the women sheltering at the housing society were raped, her husband pleaded with the mob to stop.
तो उन्होंने बोला कि आपको क्या कहना है, आप जो चाहते हैं तो मेरे से बोलो, आप अब ये ऐसा मत करिए. ऐसा मैं आपके कभी किसी से हाथ नहीं जोड़ती, मैं आपके हाथ जोड़ता हूँ. आपको जितने पैसे लेना हो तो आप लीजिए, तो मैं आपको देने को तैयार हूँ, पर ये बच्चियों को आप छोड़ दो रेप. तो फिर इन्होंने क्या करा, पैसे निकाल के ला कर उनको पैसे दिए, तो दरवाज़ा खोल के वो पैसे देने लगे, तो इनको हाथ पकड़ के उन्होंने खींच लिया इस तरह से. तो उन्होंने फिर क्या करा, इनको बाहर ले जाके चौराहे पर ले जाकर सब इनके उन्होंने कपड़े वपड़े सब उतार दिए. फिर इनको उन्होंने मारा कराइए, और मैं सभी ऊपर से अपनी बालकनी में से देख रही थी. मतलब मैं नीचे तो जा नहीं सकती थी लोगों की भीड़ के मारे. तो फिर उन्होंने इनके हाथ पैर ये सब काट के, और ये गला भी सब यहाँ से काट के.
उस दिन सुबह अपने जाफरी को हम लोगों ने कैसे मारा?
जाफरी को तो मतलब जैसे उन लोगों ने देखा, वो लोग पकड़ के लेके गए, हमने पीछे से जैसे लात मार के खींच के लेके गए.
This is Madan Chawal, admitting he was part of the mob that killed Ehsan Jaffri.
गिरा वो फिर मैं क्या तो उनके हाथ में था, मैं 5-6 जन पकड़ लिए थे. फिर उसको जैसे पकड़ के खड़ा रखा, फिर लोगों ने किसी ने तलवार मारी, हाथ काटे, हाथ काट के फिर पैर काटे, फिर उसको लाल काट डाला. बहुत बढ़िया. फिर को टुकड़े करके फिर लकड़ा वो जो लगाए थे लकड़े उस पर रख के फिर जला डाला. बहुत बढ़िया.
When Tehelka's footage was broadcast last October, Zakia Jaffri watched as her husband's killers described his death.
वो देख रहे, और हम लोग यहाँ पर सब बैठ के यहाँ पर देख रहे थे और रो रहे थे. मतलब ये दुख हो रहा था हमारे को भी. देखो सब ये सब सामने के सामने हमारे जो मौत के फिरस्ते थे वो हमको सामने के सामने दिख रहे थे सब. यानी वो मेरा लड़का है, वो भी 4 बार आंसू, ये बच्चे सब बैठ के रो रहे. लोगों के हमको फोन आ रहे थे कि आप वो देख रहे थे तेहलका. ये अब क्या सोच सकते हैं, अब आप समझ लीजिए. अल्फाज जो है नहीं जो इतने मैं आपको बताऊं.
What's made it even more painful is the knowledge that her husband's killers are still free, and that Gujarat's police force appeared to be on their side.
जिस दिन गुलबर्ग कांड हुआ था उस दिन पुलिस का क्या रवैया था?
पुलिस साइड में खड़ी थी.
साइड में खड़ी कि आप लोग कर लीजिए. बहुत बढ़िया.
उस दिन किसी को अरेस्ट नहीं करा, किसी को मारा नहीं.
Victims and human rights groups have long suspected the authorities of being involved in the riots. Many of the people Tehelka filmed confirm that police, politicians, lawyers and even judges took part in planning and executing the massacres and then covering them up afterwards. Ashish Khetan says they all belong to the right-wing Hindu groups that control this state.
Every institution of the Gujarati society, every institution, be it the judiciary, be it the police, every facet, every part of the Gujarati society, they have been successful in spreading their tentacles into.
According to Tehelka, the tentacles of Hindu extremist groups reach right to the top, to the office of Gujarat's Chief Minister Narendra Modi. Modi is from the right-wing Hindu party, the BJP, which has often been accused of stirring up anti-Muslim feeling. Haresh Bhatt is a member of the Legislative Assembly in Narendra Modi's government. He was one of the most senior people caught on tape by Tehelka's undercover reporter. He says that after the Hindu pilgrims were attacked at Godhra, he attended a meeting with the Chief Minister.
कुछ तो बताइए नरेंद्र भाई, क्या उनका क्या
उनका फेवरेबल, लेकिन हम ये क्योंकि स्टेटमेंट हम नहीं कर सकते। जो उन्होंने किया है ना, वो शायद किसी मुख्यमंत्री ने नहीं किया होगा।
मैं कहीं इसको कोट नहीं करूँगा, मैं वैसे भी आपको कोट नहीं करूँगा कहीं किसी किताब में।
तो उन्होंने जो 3 दिन का मोहलत दिया था, जो भी करना चाहो कर लो, 3 दिन के बाद मैं बंद कर दूंगा, ये उन्होंने खुलेआम कहा था। और 3 दिन के बाद बोला कि आप बंद कर दो, और सारा बंद हो गया।
Self-confessed murderer Babu Bajrangi says that when he was arrested several months after the massacre, it was Narendra Modi who got him out of jail by changing the judges.
पहला जज आया था धोलकिया जी था, उन्होंने बोला कि बाबू भाई बजेंगे तो फांसी होनी चाहिए 4-5 बार, एक बार नहीं, और फाइल फेंक दी सब। फिर दूसरा आया तो दूसरा ने हमारा को यही बताया कि नहीं, इनको फांसी होनी चाहिए। फिर तीसरा ने फिर 1.5 साढ़े 4 महीना हो गए। फिर नरेंद्र ने हमारे को संदेशा भेजा कि ठहर जाओ, मैं अभी सेटिंग करता हूँ, अभी टाइम निकल गया है। फिर उन्होंने अक्षय मेहता करके एक जज को भेजा, जज ने फाइल नहीं देखी, कुछ नहीं, बोले जामिन ग्रांटेड।
I decided to try and find Babu Bajrangi. I wanted to know what he thought about his explosive confessions being made public. I've been told he usually holds court at an office not far from where the worst massacre took place. My translator says everyone here is afraid of Bajrangi, so I try to film without being noticed.
ये SBS टेलीविजन से आए थे और ये सेकंड वो हमें एड्रेस बताया था बाबू बजरंगी जी के कार्यालय का, तो वो है नहीं, तो अभी तो बंद हो गया सब, अब मिलना मुश्किल है उनका। अभी तो यहाँ कहाँ ढूंढोगे, उनका भी कुछ पता नहीं है अभी, खासा 1 आध महीने से बंद हो गया है।
Having been tricked into making his remarkable confession, Bajrangi is now keeping a low profile.
I think that the so-called confessions were exaggerated.
Chandan Mitra is a BJP-aligned politician and the editor of a conservative newspaper. He accuses Tehelka of trying to undermine the BJP government in Gujarat and says the secretly recorded interviews have no credibility. You're not concerned by any of the things that they said?
No, I don't take that evidence as not worth the footage it's been filmed on.
Former MPs, the government counsel to the inquiry, police, not worth
just one or two people, even if they have said something, I don't think that forms a basis of something which is as big as the Gujarat riots. You cannot convince people or convict people or condemn them or make up your minds about them on the basis of just 1 or 2 people.
Why are you so convinced that Modi was not involved?
Nothing has come on, no evidence, not a shred of evidence. Why should I be convinced that he is guilty?
I will go only by the evidence that I have managed to bring on record. I have absolutely no doubt that Modi was the invisible hand behind the massacre.
Less than 2 months after the Tehelka expose, Gujarat held state elections. The BJP focused its entire campaign on Modi. This cult of personality is fueled by his reputation as a strong leader who's responsible for Gujarat's booming economy. In the heat of the campaign, Congress party leader Sonia Gandhi used the Tehelka expose to publicly condemn Modi.
सच्चाई ये है कि आज गुजरात की सरकार चलाने वाले झूठे बेईमानी डर और मौत के सौदागर हैं.
In turn, Modi accused the Congress party of being soft on Islamic terrorism.
सोनिया बहन मौत का सौदागरो कौन से गुजरात री जनता साथ लेते जा रहे हैं. आप मौत મોતના સોદાગરોને ટેકો કોણ કરે છે એ આખું હિન્દુસ્તાન જાણે છે.
Many people hoped that with all the evidence of his government's involvement in the 2002 riots, there would be a backlash against Modi at the ballot box. But they were wrong. Modi was soon sworn in for his third consecutive term as Chief Minister after the BJP won a landslide victory. What did you hope would happen as a result of your 6-month-long investigation?
I was hoping that the entire country would sit up and take notice of it, and I hope that there will be a separate commission constituted to just look into the tapes, into the revelations made in the tapes. This is what I had hoped.
One would imagine that if one went on television and declared that one had murdered one's neighbor, that within 2 hours the police would be knocking on your door. He said, here we are talking about mass murderers who are on camera on national television, probably for the first time in the history of the media, actually telling you how they kill, where they kill, why they kill, and nothing happens.
Modi's victory has turned him into an important figure on the national political stage. His supporters don't care that he's been denied a visa to the United States on the grounds that he violated religious freedom.
I have no doubt that someday the White House will roll out a red carpet for Narendra Modi to be there.
Why do you say that?
Because I hope to see him as Prime Minister of this country one day.
I requested an interview with Modi, but never received a reply. I also approached the Gujarat police chief and the former Minister for Law and Justice, but no one wanted to speak. With Modi's re-election, is the story over?
I don't think the story is over. I think eventually what we revealed will have to be acted upon. How long it takes remains to be seen.
Six years after the riots, Gujarat's Muslims are still praying for justice. But they've lost all faith in the state of Gujarat to deliver it. However calm things may appear on the surface, they feel that at any time their neighbours and even their government could turn against them. Despite seeing her sister's family hacked down by a Hindu mob, when Fatima was offered police protection a few months later, she turned it down.
मैंने बोली 2002 में जो दंगा हुआ आप ही थे. मैंने उसको ऐसा उसकी पकड़ के वर्दी बोली, ये खाकी वर्दी थी ना उस टाइम पे, तुम्हारे पास में मांगने आई थी, हाथ जोड़ने आई थी. तुमने क्या बोला था कि तुमको बचाने का ऑर्डर नहीं है, बराबर. तो मैंने कहा तुम्हारा क्या भरोसा, अब फिर से ऑर्डर आ जाएगा कि तुम मारो इनको, तो तुम मुझे गोली मारोगे कि नहीं मारोगे. मैं खाकी वर्दी वाले पे हमको कोई विश्वास नहीं है. सरकार तुम्हारी है, पुलिस तुम्हारी है, सब कुछ तुम्हारा है, हमारा सिवाय अल्लाह के हमारा कोई नहीं है.